Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. We are here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Last week you saw us at the South Boston Speedway on a Wednesday night. Zach Woods picking up his first career victory 1 week ago. So we got quite a few cars entered here tonight at Bristol. 28 cars came out tonight to partake in tonight's event. This marks race number 9 out of 11 races this season, so just 2 more races after tonight. And we are in the middle of a tight points battle between a couple guys that are no strangers to the Mid-South iRacing Tour. So last week, Zach Woods picked up the victory, but Carter Russo, the points leader, was able to hang on to his points lead and, in fact, extend it. It's up to 21 points now over the second-place driver, Mark Keatman Jr. Other notable drivers in the top 5 in points: Ethan Wolf sitting in third. Jimmy Gowker and Alex Sexton have a tight battle going for the 4th position. So all 5 drivers in the top 5 here tonight. Next week, we'll be at Langley, and then we'll round out the season at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So a couple weeks that you're not going to want to miss. We're going to crown a champion here in a couple weeks. This is the 3rd appearance in the Mid-South iRacing Tour at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last of which coming back on April 27th of this year. In the 2022 spring season, Michael Bumgarner was crowned the victor there. We saw Bumgarner in victory lane this season at 5 Flags. Mark Keatman also has a win at Bristol. It's showing already here tonight. He is at the top of the point standings, or at the top of the leaderboard. Right behind him at a close margin is Alex Sexton. As I say that, Mark Keatman Jr. takes a peek into the 14-3s. Few stories to watch here tonight. Last week, Zach Woods picked up his first ever Mid-South iRacing Tour victory. He's going to try and go back-to-back here tonight. So we'll take a look around the Bristol Motor Speedway with 5 minutes left in practice. Alex Sexton, who sits second on the board, the P1 Performance number 9 machine, making his way out of turn number 4. He comes across the stripe. Bristol, very difficult track, and the super late model is going to be very hard to pass here tonight. These guys got to get some heat in their tires and try and maneuver as they can. Colton Coe right in front of Alex Sexton in the co-heating and air conditioning number 28. Coe sitting in the 10th spot. Right in front of them, Matthew Modzaleski making his way onto the speedway. The P1 Performance number 53 machine. Breaking out the pink for breast cancer awareness in October. Modzaleski sitting position number 15,000 now as they slide together and make some hard contact. David Lux, after a bad crash last week, going to have to bring out the backup car. He'd like to thank his buddy Jimmy Gowker for giving him his backup car, and he's out here tonight. Jimmy Gowker also here tonight. He sits in the 3rd spot on the board in the red PWI Preferred Warranties number 2. Your points leader and 2-time champion Carter Russo in the yellow and blue number 4 tonight. Bit of a change up from Russo after last week's performance at South Boston. As we'll go through, give you guys a quick look around at our cameras here tonight. We have all our normal TV cameras as we normally do. One of my favorite ones, the backstretch camera. Oh, I guess we won't go to the backstretch camera. Carter Russo falls off of the racetrack. There we go. Backstretch camera here. You can see all the drivers coming at you at full speed. Turn 1 camera. Should be some hot action on restarts going into here. Turn 2, like normal. The backstretch, obviously. Turn 3, as Ethan Wolf sitting up in the stands. He made some contact, got boosted up over the wall, and he's sitting on the top of the wall right there. We got the Brooks Motorsports digger camera down in turn number 4. As you see the cars passing over it. And then we have our turn 4 camera, so you can see the cars coming off of the 24-degree banking and coming across the stripe. Another camera that we have here tonight, one of my actual favorites, the starter camera. You're going to see the cars coming right at you, fly by across the finish line. Because those are the cameras we've got here tonight. And with that being said, we got about 3 minutes left until we release these guys to go qualifying. Until then, we will be right back on the WD Broadcasting Network. You aren't going to miss a thing. I'm going to be stepping away for just a moment before qualifying. Alrighty, folks, we're back with 30 seconds left before we release these drivers to qualify. Folks, in the virtual stands, I want to hear your predictions for who you think is going to go at the top of the board in this qualifying session. Put them down in the chat below. Who is your guys' pick to win? As we're going to qualifying, we're going to qualify the field and set them loose for 100 laps here tonight. 29 cars have taken time. We're right on board with Chandler Hudgens as he pulls onto the racetrack and makes his way around. As I say that, the checkered flag comes out and it is time to qualify the field. So on the left side of your screen, you're going to see the top 20 on the board. We'll take a look at who's going to be the first car out, and this one looks like Matt LZ Jr. from Kalamazoo, Michigan, pops out onto the track. Scrubbing the tires down the back straightaway, trying to get as much heat as he can built up in those Hoosier tires, and out of the corner, he sees the green flag for his first of 2 qualifying laps, Down the back straightaway, LZ going through the middle line in both corners of the racetrack, dives it off of turn number 4, cuts it off the corner. First lap time for Matt LZ Jr. will be a 14.54. That's going to stay quick time for now. On lap number 2, slows it down a little bit. 4 cars have qualified. Dalton Collins being one of those as he goes to the top of the board with a 14.48. Last week's winner, the Denny Nyardi number 32, Zach Woods, makes his way onto the racetrack from Osceola, Indiana. Zach Woods sees the green flag and heads down into turns 1 and 2. A little bit sideways down the back straightaway, recovers nicely and goes into turns 3 and 4. Oh, he has some problems, wiggles up the racetrack. Zach Woods not going to get a first lap in and spins out again. So Woods having some trouble after the success last week. As we speak, Alex Sexton goes to the top of the board in the P1 Performance number 9 machine. Making his first start here tonight in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, Noah Allison bumps his number 24 machine into 6th place. Is on the racetrack now on board with the number 37 machine from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Chandler Hutchins. Hutchins on his rookie season in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. He currently sits 20th in points. As he sees the green flag, he's going to go into turns 1 and 2. In that middle groove, gets back into the throttle early and gasses it up off of the corner. Gets a healthy amount of throttle on the exit of turn number 4. He goes to position number 12 with a 15.14. 15.14, lap number 1 for Hutchins. In lap number 2, the checkered flag flies. Hutchins picks it up a little bit, but stays in position number 12. Colton Coe, also out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, heads onto the racetrack now. No, he slides up the racetrack. Not a good lap number 2 for Colton Coe as he slides down the banking on his lid. On the racetrack now, one of the winningest drivers in Mid-South iRacing Tour history, Mark Keatman, he slides to a stop on lap, sorry, that was out lap, so Keatman not going to be affected by the spin down the back, as he will try again on a second qualifying run. And dips it down out of the corner. Green flag for Mark Keatman Jr. 13 career victories in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. One of those coming back last December here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. As he gets out of turn number 4, first lap time for Keatman. He's going to go to 6th place on the board. And that's going to be it for Mark Keatman Jr. as he brings the MK Performance number 2 to a stop. With 20 seconds left to go in qualifying, Matthew Modzaleski throws his hat into the mix on lap number 1. Modzaleski going to 5th place. Going to try and pick it up lap number 2. The time is winding down for Modzaleski. And out of turn number 4, sliding across the line. Slows it down just a little bit. And just like that, that's going to be the end of qualifying here tonight. So we have 28 cars getting set and ready to go. And before we show you the grid rundown, we're going to pop up on our screen right here. This right here is your point standings after 9 of 11 weeks. Carter Russo sitting at the, after 8 of 11 weeks, Carter Russo at the top of the board. Mark Keatman in second, as we said before. Right there, you can look around and see where exactly your favorite driver stacks up here. It's a good battle throughout the top 5 to see who's going to pick up the championship. So there is the top 20 on the left side of the screen. We'll run down the starting order here tonight. On the pole, it is the P1 Performance number 9 of Alex Sexton. Dalton Collins going to roll off to his outside in the number 95 machine. The 12 of Drew Chance and Carter Russo make up row number 2. Matthew Modzaleski on the inside of row number 3 in the 5th spot. Matthew LZ Jr. in the number 27 machine rolls off 6th. Second in points, Mark Keatman Jr. going to have to come from 7th place here tonight if he wants any shot at a victory. Jaden Russell to his outside in the 69 machine. Christopher Johnson and Noah Allison round out the top 10. David Lux and Blaine Aiken, who we saw so close last week to picking up the victory at South Boston. He will roll off 12th. David Leonard Jr. in the 13th spot, and John Piet in the number 5 rolling off 14th. A pair of P1 Performance teammates in row number 8, Jimmy Gauker, Chandler Hutchins, Colton Coe in the 17th spot in the number 28 machine. Chris Schaefer, Cortland Herman, and Nick Smith rounding out the top 20. 21st will be Ethan Wolf, Austin Godfrey, Zach Woods, Michael Stillwell, and Alan Godfrey rounding out the field in the back. And as I say that, we are rolling away here at Bristol. Right here, it will be in the hands of Alex Sexton and Dalton Collins. You're going to see the field scrolling across at the top of your screen. Keep track of where your driver is, and let us know who your driver is down in the comment section below. As the pace car lights fall off, we get the 1 to go signal from the flagman up in the stands. We are going to get set and ready to go for 100 laps of racing around the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway. The last great Coliseum, the High Banks, if you will, opened in 1960, and it has been a staple on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule ever since. And here we are tonight in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, getting ready to tackle 100 laps as the field makes their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. It's going to be Dalton Collins and Alex Sexton leading us to the green. Sexton going nice and early as they fly down into turns 1 and 2. We are underway at Bristol. Collins getting the run on the top side, Sexton on the bottom. They're going to go side by side into turns 3 and 4. Sexton with a bobble. That's going to allow Dalton Collins to take the lead on lap number 1, the 95 machine, moving into that top spot. As Alex Sexton rides right behind him, a couple of car lengths back to the 4th spot. Carter Russo right behind Drew Chance. Chance slips to the inside of Sexton for position number 2. As Alex Sexton up on top, Drew Chance on the bottom side of the racetrack. They both get sideways. Here comes the MK Performance duo. Carter Russo and Mark Keatman trying to go for it. Is Chance going to move around for the second spot? He's going to challenge Dalton Collins for the lead. Drew Chance gets shot out of a rocket. He takes the lead. Mark Keatman Jr. is going to follow suit. Something happening with Dalton Collins as he gets tagged by Alex Sexton. It looks like he's going to hang on to it. The field stacks up behind him, but something went to bad on the number 95 machine, and he's going to pay for it big time. He falls all the way back to position number 12. Is Alex Sexton hanging on to the 3rd spot for now. Here comes the 2-time champion Carter Russo to the inside of the racetrack. Alex Sexton having a hard time up on top, and as I say that, the yellow flag flies. Matthew Modzaleski with some damage in turns 1 and 2. We'll take a look at what happened here. It looks like coming out of turn number 4, Modzaleski just taps the wall just a little bit. That's enough to send him spinning down the front straightaway. Also involved Cortland Herman in the number 49 machine, as well as the 22 machine out in the back. Chris Schaefer making some contact as well. So a couple cars collected here in the first accident. And that will put us under caution here for the first time tonight. Your leader, Drew Chance, he shot out of a cannon to the front and to the top spot. So we'll follow him around in the Kuko Motorsports drone camera. Really unique camera we got here flying around the Bristol Motor Speedway. Just kind of follows a circular pattern around the cars. Is Chance right there in the top spot. Mark Keatman in the second position. And the top two in points making progress very early. Keatman already up 5 positions to that second spot. As he goes for his record-tying 14th career victory here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. The field makes their way around the Bristol Motor Speedway under caution. Lights still on the iRacing.com pace car as they make their way down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Is Alex Sexton off to a rough start as he started on the pole in the number 9 machine? He's already back to the 4th spot. We saw everybody starting to get to his inside, and he just kind of got shuffled back on that outside lane. As the lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car, we're going to have to see if Drew Chance is able to hang on to the top spot with Mark Keatman Jr. and Carter Russo right on top of him. As they make their way down the back straightaway. Look at the field as they pace by for the last time before we send them back. Green flag racing. Good field of super late models getting set and ready to go back green. As they head into turns 3 and 4, the pace car going to drop off of the racetrack right here. It's in the hands of Drew Chance. He's going nice and early. Mark Keatman Jr. falling asleep on that one. He's going to be a couple car lengths back as they head into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. The field looks to be spread out quite a bit. Drew Chance in the top spot for now. Mark Keatman Jr. about a couple car lengths back, trying to make up some ground here on lap number 13. Still a long way to go. 87 laps of racing, make it 86 this time by. As Keatman slowly starts to reel in that number 12 machine for the top spot. Back behind them, Carter Russo in the 3rd position, and Alex Sexton settles into 4th. Big scuffle for positions behind them. Zach Woods, Ethan Wolf, and Cortland Herman all going for the same piece of real estate back for the 18th spot. Give it to Ethan Wolf for now. In front of them, John Piet battling with Nick Smith in the number 10 machine. That's for the 16th position. So action all over the racetrack. Jimmy Gowker looking to the inside of Dave Leonard Jr. for the 10th spot. As I say that, Mark Keatman Jr. is able to get around Drew Chance while we're not looking. So give the top spot to Mark Keatman Jr. on lap number 17. Ooh, contact out behind him. Blaine Aiken crabbing the outside wall. He's going to lose some real estate and fall into the clutches of David Lux for the 6th spot. Christopher Johnson now closing in on the back bumper of Alex Sexton. They're going to go out for position number 4. Johnson looking at the inside. Sexton giving a lane, giving plenty of room down on the bottom. He's going to try and motor around him on the top side. For now, Alex Sexton able to hang on. Johnson Moves up the racetrack. They're using every bit of room they're giving each other. Sexton barely grazes the wall off of the corner. Looks like Johnson going to be able to slip by Alex Sexton, not going to be able to hang on the top move. Christopher Johnson into the 4th spot. His lap traffic in front of the leaders. Cortland Herman in the number 49 machine. A lap down, he slides to the inside of the racetrack to let the leaders by. As he stays down on the bottom side of the racetrack, everybody getting around him nice and cleanly. 22 laps into this one. Mark Keatman Jr. is still in the lead. Drew Chance able to hang on to 2nd for now. As they head down the front straightaway into turns 1 and 2, you're going to look at the field and how spread out they are so far. Blaine Aiken looking at the inside of Alex Sexton right there. You saw him take a peek down low for that 5th spot. Sexton able to hang on to now, but he's not having that speed that we saw in qualifying. We saw him go to the top of the board in qualifying, but it looks like he's struggling here early on in the race. As Johnson gets a little bit loose off of turn number 2, that's going to open up the door for Alex Sexton to get a run. As Sexton now having a battle with Blaine Aiken for the 5th spot. Aiken to the inside, Sexton on top. As they make their way around down the back straightaway, Sexton trying to shut the door, but Blaine Aiken's right there. Sexton tries to use up that banking, comes off of the corner, grabs the wall. That's going to give the position of Blaine Aiken in the 05 machine. Cortland Herman down on the bottom once again. Might be calling it a day in the graphics by WD number 49. Is up front, Mark Keatman extending his lead out to about 0.7 of a second as he comes down the back straightaway in the MK Performance number 2. And for the first time in a couple of weeks, we're going to go to a WD Broadcasting Network Crank It Up. There you have it, folks. A couple of laps around the Bristol Motor Speedway. As Keatman's still out front, we are still green flag racing. 32 laps in this time by as Keatman crosses the stripe, and he's still opening up that lead. It's out to about a second now over the number 12 machine of Drew Chance. We see a battle right here for the 16th spot. Jaden Russell up on top. Denny Nayari, Paint Scheme, Zach Woods in the 32 machine. He's going to look to the inside. Russell on top, Woods to the bottom side. As Woods going to slide by. Right behind them, Ethan Wolf tags the outside wall, and we have a yellow flag. Looks like Cortland Herman, the number 49 machine, with some more damage on the bottom side of the racetrack. We'll take a look at what happened as we are under yellow for the second time here tonight. As it looks like Herman was battling with the number 37 of Chandler Hutchins, and he just gets a little bit too sideways into the corner, spins up into the outside wall. Luckily, he's able to get down and out of the way before the leader, Mark Keatman Jr., was there. And that puts us under caution for the second time here tonight. So that lead that we were talking about with Mark Keatman Jr., it is all gone now. He is going to have to fend off a hard-charging Drew Chance and Carter Russo as well. Let's take a look here around the Bristol Motor Speedway. One thing that you know if you've ever been here, The Jumbotron hanging over the infield. One of the very cool sights to see as it plays an iRacing.com commercial right now. You see the field making their way out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Keatman, your leader, after 36 laps of racing. And Mark Keatman Jr. in the lead in the MK Performance number 2. As we will step away for just a moment here on the WD Broadcasting Network before we go back green flag racing. As we are back, the field making its way through turns 1 and 2. Heading down the back straightaway, you see the lights off in the iRacing.com pace car. The field double filed behind it. Still 20 cars on the lead lap. They make their way into turns 3 and 4. You're going to see him coming right at you into turn number 1. The pace car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. It's Keatman and Chance. Keatman going nice and early. Chance right behind him. Watch them as they go through turns 1 and 2 right at you. Everybody clean and green through the first set of corners. Keatman out to a big gap already. Drew Chance and Carter Russo going at it for position number 2. Looks like Chance is going to hang on to it for now. Big scuffle behind him. David Leonard Jr., Noah Allison, Alex Sexton almost makes it 3 wide. Thinks better of it. Christopher Johnson tags the wall. As they keep it clean and green. Alex Sexton now works the back bumper of Blaine Aiken in the 0-5 behind them. Matt Elzey Jr. to the inside of Dave Leonard Jr., a pair of front-wheel drive drivers up at the Kalamazoo Speedway. They battle for the 9th spot. So right now, everybody's single file, tightly packed. There we go. Words are hard today. It's Jimmy Gauker in the P1 Performance number 2. New look to the number 2 machine this week. The red car busted out of the box. You see the white car earlier in the hands of David Lux tonight. As Elzey moves to the bottom side underneath Leonard. The number 27 of Elzey and the 27B of Leonard battling now. It's Dalton Collins right behind them, just looking for somewhere to go. We saw him have some trouble early. He makes contact with Colton Coe. Coe gets up into the outside wall. That's going to drag him back quite a bit. As almost makes contact with Ethan Wolf. As Coe's going to lose quite a few positions. He's going to fall all the way back to the 15th spot. Is up front, Keatman now out to about 9/10 of a second. Right behind them, Drew Chance, Carter Russo, Blaine Aiken, and Alex Sexton battle in the top 5. Blaine Aiken takes a peek to the inside of Carter Russo in the number 4 machine. Nothing's going to be from it, though, as he's going to have to fall back. As I mentioned earlier, very hard to pass here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. You're learning that right now. These guys have had a few heat cycles in their tires. It's starting to show. A lot of maneuverability starting to go away here. As Dave Leonard Jr. makes contact with the outside wall. He's going to tag Dalton Collins, and he's going to go for a wild ride in turns 1 and 2. Everybody's swerving to miss him. He comes back on all 4 wheels on the bottom of turns 1 and 2 right there, but you saw him tag the wall, and he went for a wild ride into turns 1 and 2. As we'll take a look at what exactly happened. It comes right by you here. As you see Leonard, yellow and blue number 27, he scrapes the wall there and makes contact with Dalton Collins and Jake Brooks, and he goes for a wild ride through turns 1 and 2. Neverly ends up on all 4 wheels. He's going to bring it down pit road. The P1 Performance campaign going to have to go to work here on the number 27 machine. We'll have to see if he gets a fast repair right here. Looks like he's still working down there. The pit crew a little bit confused. You see them shaking their heads. Don't really know what exactly to do after an event like that, as that puts us under caution for the third time here tonight. Mark Keatman on top still here. Drew Chance was able to hang on to the second spot. Since Keatman, Chance, Russo, Aiken, and Sexton, your top 5, we'll put the top 20 on the left side of your screen. It's 18 cars now on the lead lap. A couple guys that have withdrew from the event. Nick Smith in the number 8 machine, calling it a night. Cortland Herman as well. Christopher Schaefer, Matthew Modzaleski, all done here tonight. Field riding behind the iRacing.com pace car, and they're making their way into turns 3 and 4. You see everybody out behind them as the light's still on, single file behind the pace car. Folks, if you like what you see here on the WD Broadcasting Network, I encourage you to like the page, share it around, and get some of your buddies involved. As the more we grow this channel, or we can present you some awesome iRacing footage. We got some exciting news coming up in a couple weeks. You got nothing to do in November, make sure you mark your calendars. November 19th, the first annual Kalamazoo Clash on iRacing, going to be happening here on the WD Broadcasting Network. So make sure you get your seats ready for November 19th at 8 p.m. here on the WD Broadcasting Network as the field sees the 1 to go signal. We're going to be going green this time by. It's going to be Keatman and Chance once again. So right here, you look at them coming off of the corner. Keatman once again goes nice and early, and down the front straightaway he goes. Everybody going through the corner. We'll see him fly by right here. Everybody into 1 and 2. Christopher Johnson around. Oh, more contact. John Piet in the 5 slides up the racetrack. And right there it was, folks, the big one happening here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. As Keatman was able to get away nice and early on that time, but Christopher Johnson in the number 118 machine gets tagged going into the corner. So take a look at what happened. Johnson gets clipped by the 2 of Jimmy Gallagher. He gets spun around. Jake Brooks, John Piet, and David Lux just nowhere to go. One thing that you would not, or the one thing you know if you've ever raced here on iRacing at Bristol, the corners are fast here and they are very blind. So at any point in time there could be a wreck and you just never know until you see it right in front of you. I think that's what happened to those guys right there. Just nowhere to go for all those cars collected. As right here, that puts us under yellow once again. Mark Keatman in the lead, still under yellow for the 4th time here tonight. Just past the halfway point. As they sit right now, Mark Keatman would gain a little bit on your points leader, Carter Russo, but not quite enough, as points are very close here throughout the race. Just a couple of points separating each position. Right now, Keatman sitting behind 21 points coming into the final 3 events. So he's going to have quite a ways to pick up if he wants a shot at a Mid-South iRacing Tour title. So far, the Mid-South iRacing Tour has completed 2 full seasons of Super Late Model competition. In both of those seasons, Carter Russo picked up the championship. So Everybody in here trying to knock Carter Russo off the top spot here. As Mark Keatman is trying to do that here tonight. Both of the MK Performance drivers, the winningest drivers here in Mid-South iRacing Tour history. Collectively, they have 27 career victories between the two of them in the Super Late Model division. 14 of those going to Carter Russo and the other 13 going to Mark Keatman Jr. So if Keatman can pick up the victory here tonight, he will be once again tied. The two of them have gone back and forth this season, and if you've kept up with the Mid-South iRacing Tour and the WD Broadcasting Network, you would know that. As Carter Russo and Mark Keatman both having 2 feature wins apiece this season. The last win for Mark Keatman coming back on September 14th at September 7th at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Carter Russo's last win coming at New Smyrna, which was September 14th. And as I say that, the field getting set and ready to go back racing. And it's Keatman and Chance once again. We're going to see it from up in the tower this time around. Put the ticker back up on top. And it's time to go back racing at Bristol. Pace car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. It's in the hands of Keatman and Chance once again. Keatman going nice and early this time. Carter Russo able to pick up on it. Here comes Carter Russo to the inside for the second spot. As everybody through turns 1 and 2, you see them come down the back straightaway. Somebody tagged Wall there. Looks like it's not going to affect them. But here comes Carter Russo fighting for position number 2. Drew Chance not going to give it up easy on the top side. He rolls around the banking at Bristol, and he's going to hang on to the second spot. Blaine Aiken took a look to the outside. Carter Russo slamming the door shut out of turn number 2. And here comes Noah Allison trying to get around Alex Sexton for the 5th spot. Looks like Sexton is going to hang on to it for now. Still up on top, Allison trying to get around as he is side by side with Sexton through turns 3 and 4. He's at the line that time. Allison able to pick up the position, but Sexton still fighting back hard on the outside, right there on the inside. Right there, you saw him get a little bit loose out of turn number 2, and that's going to give the spot to Noah Allison. It's into turn number 1. Keatman still out front, but right behind them, Carter Russo trying desperately to get around Drew Chance before Mark Keatman starts to run away with this one. This battle is going on all over the racetrack here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Right now, it's for that second spot. As Blaine Aiken wants a piece of the action, he takes a look to the outside of the MK Performance number 4. As Chance tags the wall, that's going to give Carter Russo an opportunity to tuck to the bottom side of the racetrack. But still looks like Drew Chance is too strong up top. Here comes Blaine Aiken in the 05 trying to make a move around the outside of Russo for the 3rd position. Looks like it might be able to happen out of turn number 4 that time. Give the 3rd spot to Blaine Aiken in the 05. Blaine Aiken, a real-life racer in the CRA Street Stock division. He's going to be fighting for a championship in a couple of weeks at the Winchester Speedway. The Winchester 400 weekend event that if you are from the Michigan, Indiana, Ohio area is, as I say that, caution flag, or maybe not a caution, because I thought there was definitely going to be a yellow. We heard tires squealing. We saw a car go sideways right there. Not quite sure what happened, but it looks like Noah Allison falls back quite a few positions. And he's all the way back to the 12th spot, but looks like the field able to stay green. Carter Russo trying to battle back for the 3rd spot, but Aiken is able to hang on for now. But as I was saying, Winchester 400, an amazing race that you guys are not going to want to miss. Here in a couple weeks, Zach Woods and the Denny Nyari number 32 took a look to Matt Elsie Jr.'s inside that time. Was not able to make it happen out of turn number 2. As Elsie running in the 7th position, Dalton Collins, after falling back early, He's worked his way back up into the top 10. Ooh, contact in front of him. Blaine Aiken up the racetrack. Carter Russo on the outside wall. Here comes Alex Sexton. Drew Chance all over the place. As contact was made for that second position, and Alex Sexton is going to be the winner out of all of it. He moves back into the second spot. Here comes Blaine Aiken fighting back once again on the bottom. As Russo and Chance fall back to 5th and 6th. Dalton Collins looking to the outside of Aiken now. As Aiken struggling to hang on to that 3rd spot, is give it to Dalton Collins into turn number 3. As Collins and Sexton able to get back up. Elsie Jr. out back behind them tags the wall. We got a 5-car scramble for the 7th spot, led by Zach Woods, Ethan Wolf, Matt Elsie Jr., Jimmy Gauker, and Colton Coe all involved right there. Everybody racing close. Elsie tagging the wall again. That's going to cause Coe to check up in front of them. Russo and Chance going at it hard for that 5th spot. As there is action everywhere on the racetrack. We'll look at them as they go into turns 1 and 2 and what all is happening. We got about 14 cars right up there with the lead pack. Chandler Hutchins struggling to keep up in the number 37 machine out back. Is in the 2nd spot. Alex Sexton trying to hang on as Collins looks to the inside. Not going to happen. It's Collins and Sexton working for position number 2 as Keevan starts to really run away. 3 seconds now the gap back to Alex Sexton in the 2nd position. As Collins once again takes a peek to the inside of the number 9 machine. Looks like he pulls up alongside, but Sexton just able to carry the momentum so much better around the top. He's going to hang on to the spot for now. We'll take a look at what happened behind him. Colton Coe spinning to the inside of the racetrack. It looks like he gets back rolling, and we will stay green. iRacing yellow is in play here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, and iRacing not ready to give in yet. Throw the caution flag. 19 laps to go at the stripe for Keatman. As Russo and Chance still going at it for the 5th spot. As Chance looks back to the inside, Russo tries to close the door, but Chance able to roll the corner. Looks like everything there settles itself back out. Collins and Sexton still going at it for the 2nd spot as Keeman really starts to extend the lead now. You see on the top of your screen right there, 3.2 seconds. It's going to take a caution for either of these guys to try and get up to the number 2 machine of Mark Keeman. So here comes Collins once again, looking to the bottom side. Looks like he's able to get big runs, but just not able to complete the pass on the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton. Looks like Carter Russo had some problems. He's up on the outside wall with a lot of damage on the number 4 machine. Drew Chance and Carter Russo might have made some contact for the 5th spot. It's Chance now back to Russo back to the 10th spot. This is exactly what Mark Keeman wanted to see in the number 2 machine. This is going to help him catch up to Carter Russo, who currently leads in points. All Keeman can do now is hope that Russo stays back there with 13 to go. Gauker looking to the outside to try and take away the 10th spot. It looks like he does it in turns 1 and 2. As Wolf and Johnson both following right behind them. But still, Alex Sexton and Dalton Collins making contact. Wow, what a save from the 2 of them to keep it clean up front, but Sexton looked like got loose off of the corner. Dalton Collins was right there. They both almost slid into the inside wall, but both of them kept it clean. 11 laps to go in the battle right now for the 2nd spot. It's Keatman right here in a world of his own, running the top side of the racetrack, catching the slower car of Colton Coe, the number 28 machine, who spun out a couple laps ago. Right now, Sexton and Collins really going at it for the 2nd spot. Collins able to pull up right alongside. He's going to slide up the racetrack. Almost contact made. as Colton Coe sitting the wrong way on the racetrack on the front straightaway. We're going to see if that brings out the yellow flag. It looks like he backs it up, and there we are. The caution flag does fly. As Colton Coe was sitting spun out on the front straightaway. That's going to bring out the caution here. And Mark Keatman's 3.5 second lead is now gone, and he's going to have to defend it with just a couple laps to go. As right now we're going to take a word from our leader here, mid-race interview with the leader, Mark Keatman. Mark, we saw you take the lead early on and get around Drew Chance from starting in the 7th position. You worked your way up to the lead and led the majority of this race. But what's it going to take to close it off here in the final couple laps?
Yeah, just gonna have to get a good restart here. Hopefully not spin the tires too much. Gonna try and get a good jump on the field. Hopefully I can just pull away and click these laps off as fast as possible. Maybe come out of here with a win.
Alrighty, as it sits right now, Cardorusso back in the 12th position. That's going to help you a lot in points if you can hang on to this one, so good luck to you with the 5 laps to go here.
Absolutely. Thanks, Winston.
That was your race leader, Mark Keatman, as he is currently in the lead. He's led most of this one. Took the lead from Drew Chance early on and has not looked back. He had a 3-second advantage that time when we threw the caution flag. As the field sees the 1-to-go signal and they head down the back straightaway, we're going to be sending them back to green with 4 laps to go. It's going to be Sexton and Keatman, the top 2 positions right here. As you see them make their way through turns 3 and 4, the pace car going to drop to the bottom side of the racetrack, and one more time it's going to be Keatman and Sexton. Keatman goes nice and early, gets a good restart. He's going to sail off into turn number 1 as the leader, Dalton Collins and Blaine Aiken, swarming around, trying to find a way around the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton. As Collins in the 3rd spot, Aiken trying to take it away down the front straightaway. 3 to go now for Mark Keatman Jr., but the battle right now is for the 3rd position. Dalton Collins, Blaine Aiken, they make contact down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Collins slides up the racetrack, Aiken holding his ground. 2 to go now at the stripe, dead heat at the line. I think it was Aiken that time. As Collins slides up the racetrack more, and Aiken going to have a handful down the back straightaway. The Chance looks to the inside of the racetrack now. White flag, 1 more lap to go for your leader, Mark Keatman. Mark Keatman went to victory lane last December here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and he heads into turns 3 and 4 and comes up and out of the corner and collects career victory number 14 at Bristol. 2nd place, Alex Sexton, starting from the pole. Dalton Collins finishing in the 3rd position. Blaine Aiken, Drew Chance rounding out the top 5. Cardorusso, your current points leader, finishes all the way back in 14th. After some contact with Drew Chance late in the race, Chance is going to end up finishing 5th, and Russo all the way back in position number 14. So folks, on the left side of your screen, you see your finishing order, your top 20 finishers. We said the top 5, but position number 6, Matt Elzy Jr. Ethan Wolf coming up 15 positions into the 7th spot here tonight. Noah Allison finishes 8th in his first career victory. Zach Woods, after coming up 16 spots, finishes in 9th. Jimmy Gauker rounds out the top 10. Jaden Russell, Christopher Johnson, Chandler Hutchins, and Carter Russo round out the lead lap cars. then behind them, David Lux in the 16th position. Jake Brooks, John Piet, Dave Leonard Jr., Nick Smith rounds out the top 20. Cortland Herman, Matthew Modzaleski, Chris Schaefer, and Donald Tulos gonna round out the field. So after a crazy race, there are a lot of battling going on for the latter half of the top five. We saw Collins and Sexton and Chance and Russo going at it all race long. After everything gets settled, Mark Keatman crawls away with the victory. We talked to him before that final restart, and he said his goal was to just get a good start, and that is exactly what he did. He executed the plan, and he finds himself in victory lane here tonight. We'll be back in just a couple of moments for some interviews with our top three competitors. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back on the WD Broadcasting Network. All right, folks, we are back here at the Bristol Motor Speedway and the WD Broadcasting Network. We're going to grab a word from our top three competitors, or we're going to try to at least. Looks like Dalton Collins is in here, our third place finisher. We're going to bring him in for a quick interview. Well, Dalton, we saw you start towards the front in the second position. We were making you were making some progress up on the outside lane, and then you fell back throughout the field, but you were able to work your way back up into the third position. What do you think about the race here tonight?
Yeah, I guess earlier, everybody wanted to run me over, it seemed like, but I was just trying to save my tires there, but yeah, I got ran over a few times and had to save it and come back up through there. I was just trying to, conserve and, keep grip on, underneath me, and I mean it worked. I got a few yellows there. I think after that first yellow, I think if we would have stayed green, I think I would have been all right, but yeah, I just tried to save and get them at the end, but I was there at the end. I just didn't really get a good enough restart, and yeah, just was able to hang on to a podium. So yeah, I just had an all right race. I wish we would have went green a little bit more, but it was really fun all the way around. I love getting back on these supers and having a good time.
Yeah, we saw you and Alex Sexton battle for what seemed to be the entire second half of the race for the second spot. Um, Alex was able to get around, and as you said, not have you didn't have the best of restarts on that last one. You had to battle with Aiken for the third spot, but you came away with the podium finish here tonight. Anybody got to thank that helped you get onto the podium?
Yeah, just big thanks to Timothy Pacioli for making this super for me. I've been running it in the iRacing Super Series, actually with you, a little bit, and a couple others that run here. So I've been running that there and having a lot of fun getting back on these things. Got a few big races coming up, but yeah, big thanks to him, Legacy Sports, having me on their truck deal and then allowing me to go run these and have some fun. So big thanks to them and everybody that supports all my racing. But yeah, we got some big races coming up. We'll probably do Sobo and the Nashville race for this series, and go on the iRacing tour. These next couple weeks, and we got the All American Snowball here in the next couple months. So gonna have a lot of fun.
Alrighty, well, good luck in your future endeavors on iRacing, and we thank you for joining us here tonight. You definitely put on a show.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Yep. That was our third place finisher, Dalton Collins. And as we said earlier, he looked like everybody was trying to run him over. He did a really good job of saving it, but kind of burnt off the tires there in the end. And now we'll talk to our second place finisher here tonight, Alex Sexton. Alex, we saw you qualify on the pole, and it kind of looked like you just had a rough start getting the tires up to temp, and some cars got around you, but you were able to hang on and get back through the field to position number 2 at the end of this one.
Yeah, kind of for the first couple laps I was trying to save because I knew tires were going to be a big issue. Not having tires at Bristol's kind of a big deal. I tried to save, but I guess Keatman, I don't know, he's just on another level.
Yep, I think you put it in best terms there when you guys had that final caution. He was about 3.5 seconds out while you were battling with Dalton Collins for the second position. And second place here tonight, one of your best, if not your best, finish in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Who do you got to thank?
P1 Performance, Graphics by WD, and Sexton Motorsports.
Alrighty, well, congrats on your second place finish here tonight. We wish you luck in the next 2 races to close out the season. Alrighty, well, that was your second place finisher. Now time to hear from our winner. Well, Mark, we talked to you before that final restart, and we heard your plan going into it, get a good restart, and that's exactly what you did. And you walked away from it, and you collected your 14th career Mid-South iRacing Tour victory.
Yeah, starting 7th, I was kind of down a little bit, but there was some crazy stuff that happened there in the early laps that allowed me to gain some valuable track position. And Drew really didn't race me for the lead. I was kind of confused on that, but once I got up front, I just kind of cruised around, wasn't trying to burn up my stuff because I figured we were going to have some cautions. I'm super stoked. This helped me out a lot in the points, and I just couldn't be happier with how tonight turned out.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. We just put the points into the system, and it looks like you gained quite a bit coming into this one after your race last week at the South Boston Speedway. You were down 21 points, and after tonight, you've gained quite a bit, and you're now down 3 to Carter Russo. So
that's awesome.
With 2 races left in the season, what's it going to take to put the number 2 machine at the top?
It's definitely going to take some luck, that's for sure. Got to have lady luck on the side as always. But stats show that I've been the best at Langley. I'm pretty sure that's where we go next over the last 2 seasons. So hopefully I can make it 3 in a row there, and we can go on to Nashville with a decent lead and hope for a good turnout there.
Alrighty, well, Langley and Fairgrounds, the next 2 races and the final 2 races this season. Wish you luck there, and we will see you next week.
Yep, thanks, Winston. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. That was your winner, Mark Keatman. He collects career victory number 14, and that puts him in a tie for the lead. So with 2 races left in the season, everybody, I want your thoughts down in the comment section below. Is it going to be is it going to be Carter Russo or Mark Keatman picking up the championship? Or will it be Ethan Wolf or Alex Sexton? Those guys just 20 points back each in 3rd and 4th positions. So a good battle with the top 4. Let us know your thoughts down below. And just like that, we're going to wrap it up here tonight in the Mid-South iRacing Tour and on the WD Broadcasting Network. I'd like to thank everybody that joined us here tonight. Thank you to all of our sponsors here at the WD Broadcasting Network, as well as the Mid-South iRacing Tour, Kuko E-Motorsports, Brooks Motorsports, Co-Heating and Air Conditioning, Graphics by WD, P1 Performance as well. A lot of those guys helping out, put on shows here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. So thank you to everybody for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week at the Langley Speedway. Have a good rest of your week, everybody, and y'all take it easy.